Hello, welcome to Flying into 44. Yes, I am 43 and I will be 44 in November. But before then, I'm going to do regular reviews of whatever's in my head at the time. What I'm about to put in my head is Evian. Yes, I'm not sure if we're sponsored by Evian yet. We, as in me, the royal we. I hope this isn't royal we in here. Let's find out. Well, you can taste the blue blood. What you can also taste is the dry residue. Basically, I met somebody in a park and they did a big paranoid rant about what people hide from you in what you drink. Because I don't drink tea or coffee or fizzy drinks. I don't eat chocolate, ice cream or crisps. I'm really on this non-junk food frenzy, so I make it to 44. Right, so, and someone said, oh my god, they hide things from you in these bottles. They do, and it says dry residue there. And if you've seen on YouTube, there's a video where someone pours some Evian into like a sieve, and they see this sort of salty mixture. It's all sort of like a hidden ingredients. Ooh, look! Oh my God! It's chlorine or evil Dr. Nasty in one little powdery bit, but it isn't. It's dry residue, so don't freak out, everybody. There is not some hidden conspiracy at the bottom of this bottle. I can tell. I keep pointing with a naughty finger. Excuse me. Right. Not sponsored by Evian. Okay, so what am I here to talk about today? Well, not those. I'm fine. I don't have piles. My foot got rather uncomfortable. That's all. Hang on. It does. My feet are playing up there. I'll tell you that. I am. I'm getting weird cold feet thing. Like I'm going to have to get some. What do they call it? Industrial stockings or I know what it is in a minute. Memory's going. That's the first thing to go, and then it's your memory that goes, and then you get memory loss, and you completely forget what it was that you were. Compression hosiery. That's it. Yeah, I remember now. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about compression hosiery. I'm talking here very briefly about the 30-year anniversary of Doctor Who being cancelled. That's right. In 1985, they cancelled Doctor Who. The year before, we just had a new, exciting Doctor that no one was really that sure about. I mean, what I remember about it was that when I was 13, I used to wear horrendous clothes and have really bad hair and have a really bad attitude and be quite grumpy and nasty. Now, hopefully that's changed. But I noticed that that's what it is to be a teenager, and that's what it is to be the sixth Doctor. Horrendous clothes, bad hair, not that agreeable. So my 13-year-old self, who basically the last empathy character I had in the Doctor Who universe when I was young was Adric. Yeah. Which is weird because I wasn't particularly brainy or mathematically minded, but for some reason him being unable to act or walk across a room convincingly or just not stop whinging was basically, I think, my default setting. So anyway, 1985, we've got a brand new series of Doctor Who. The first series for the new Doctor, and as you remember last year in 2014, we're catching up, we had a new series of a new Doctor and everybody liked it and it was very cool, apart from, I'd say, the fangirls and boys who really are a little bit shallow and like their hero to be a little bit more better good looking. And nothing against Mr. Capaldi, amazing actor, but he's not the sort of Time Lord totty that David Tennant allegedly was, and Matt Smith might have had a little bit if he didn't stop doing this. Matt Smith's acting, very good, but sometimes he would do that weird, what is it, I can't quite do it, sort of weird thing. He was doing a bad Robert De Niro. Do you remember that? Watch it a bit more, and he does this weird thing. He squints his eyes down and does like that, like David Tennant acting through the bottom of his teeth when he gets angry. Anyway, so Mr. Capaldi, really good. Colin Baker, very good. I think it's one of these things of when you watch an era of something that you like a franchise, like James Bond or Doctor Who, and it goes wrong, as in the later Roger Moores, or for most people, all of the Roger Moores, or the Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy era of Doctor Who, it just seems to be a little bit light, or indeed too dark. This was the problem with 80s Doctor Who, or late 80s Doctor Who. It was neither one thing nor the other. It had what they call nowadays tone issues. Well, along the lines of, it was either going to be like Vengeance on Varos, which is very dark and scary and humorous, but also quite violent and nasty, to prove a point about nasty, cruel and nasty stuff on being on television, by actually being quite nasty on television. It's a little bit like that episode of The Goodies, which is set in South Africa, which is really proving lots of points about nasty, horrible racism, but unfortunately using nasty, horrible racism and imagery to prove the point. So, yes, so you had Vengeance on Varos, but you also had things like Time Lash. I can't quite explain to people why it was that Doctor Who at that time was neither one thing nor the other. It was either, as I say, a video nasty or a video which was Bonnie Langford. Yes, they put Bonnie Langford in Doctor Who. It just really seemed that if anybody wanted to cancel the series, getting a children's entertainer to be in Doctor Who just seemed like the right idea. But then, of course, as we do know, Doctor Who got quite a lot better if you're a fan. If you're not a fan, you're just convinced in the late 80s it was a load of old rubbish. But it wasn't. Once you got past Series 24, which to be honest, you know, it's rather fun because we know what's about to happen. It's kind of like having a frothy first episode of your favourite show and then going dark later. This was a whole season of light and fluffy. But was it really? A bus explodes, everybody dies in Delta and the Banana Man. A bus explodes in Delta and the Banana Men and everybody dies. Paradise Towers, oh, what a load of silliness that is. It isn't, it's quite people get throttled by a great metal thing, they get dragged away, and maybe it's the production values, but other than Time and the Rani, you know, being a bit, you know, skeletons. It has skeletons in it. People explode in huge, great CGI bubbles and get turned into skeletons. Yeah, that's for the kids, isn't it? Dragonfire, a face melts. So they were doing these nasty, nasty Doctor Who things, but the tone was all a bit. I don't like saying pantomime is a bad thing, but anyway. To get past the point, in 1985, Doctor Who was cancelled after the quite cool and peculiar revelation of the Daleks. And I must admit, I did think this is really getting better now. It's quite arty, peculiar, scary, humorous, and I think the spinners stopped spinning. Hang on. Wait. Right. So, yes, 1985, Doctor Who, where were we? Hang on. Yes, so, Doctor Who, I burped. Big adventure with the Daleks, revelation of the Daleks. Not much Doctor in it, but it looked amazing, and do watch it. There's some unique acting skills from everybody in it, ranging from particularly good to oh my god, are they employed to actually do that? So it looked good. And suddenly there was this big announcement that Doctor Who wasn't coming back. Ever. That was it. All cancelled. Now, the weirdest thing is when it came back 18 months later, this looked like the series that they should have cancelled it on. Season 23, and I'm not going to get into all this with big Doctor Who fans saying, oh yeah, but you can, you know, it's got this, or Mind Warp's good, or the last few episodes are good. They put Doctor Who, when they brought it back in 1986, they put Doctor Who after, I think it was, Roland Rat the series. Yes, Roland Rat the series. Now, Roland Rat was quite funny on TVA, and then for some reason he was given a show on BBC, and it just didn't really work. Now, maybe I'll do a whole critical video about Roland Rat one day. I don't really know very much about it, so I'll be looking it up very, very soon, because ITV was deemed as not a thing to watch in those days. As opposed to now, ITV 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all of the above. So, anyway, Doctor Who given a terrible time slot. You think you complain nowadays at being at 6:20? Try being at, I think it was 5:15 on a Saturday just before Jim will fix it. I can't even say that word anymore. Anyway, so, it was given a really bad time slot. The budget didn't look good. They stopped using film. But the series on a whole, when I think about it, I can rather enjoy it because I got the box set. But at the time, no one was really watching. It was getting like 3 million viewers, and dwindling away. So you'd think they'd cancel it then, but they didn't. It was really weird. They suddenly recast a whole person of Doctor Who as Sylvester McCoy and put it on against Coronation Street, which you'd think would kill it off. But it didn't. They had another series. And you think, well, it was good, season 25, other than Silver Nemesis, it's quite almost adult and interesting, but you know, the ratings were kind of piddly. Maybe that'll kill it off. No, apparently not. Finally, season 26 in 1989, absolutely no advertising whatsoever. Seriously, one trailer. Being a huge Doctor Who geek at the time, and I was, still am, I was, how old? I was like 17 or 18. And I was in 6th form, or maybe, I think so, I'm not sure. But I had plenty of time to watch out for adverts that might be on at that time. There was no YouTube then, so there's no promos and everything. And they really didn't have any adverts at all. You didn't know the show was on. I didn't even know the show was on. Suddenly it appeared out of nowhere in October at some point in 1989. By which time, you know, they'd finally, after the series got good, and everybody knows this, they cancelled it. So it's 30 years since basically the, wait a minute, this show isn't very good, kicked in. So we should be celebrating now the fact that we've got a fantastic Doctor, we've got a quite average and boring companion, we have an amazing budget, we have the BBC behind the series, so don't complain everybody. Just really enjoy what will happen in autumn, because I will be 44. Thank you.